teenage killer has been jailed for life for murdering a fellow student at school. 15-year-old Mohammed Umar Khan stabbed 15-year-old Harvey Willgoose at All Saints Catholic High School in Sheffield. The attack happened shortly after midday on the 3rd of February, 2025. It followed days of arguments between the pair on social media. In the days leading up to the killing, Harvey and Khan had fallen out over a dispute between two other pupils. The disagreement led to a school lockdown on the 29th of January, after threats of violence were reported. Harvey was not in school that day. He told his dad, "I'm not going to school while people have knives." But the tension carried on through the weekend on social media. Both boys took opposite sides, and messages exchanged online made clear the fallout had become personal. CCTV showed both boys in school that morning, attending lessons as normal. The court later heard that Khan had brought a 13-centimeter hunting-style knife from home and concealed it in his clothing. Teachers described him as quiet and withdrawn that day. On the morning of the murder, CCTV showed the pair in a corridor where Khan pushed Harvey. Then later in a classroom, there was another incident between Harvey and Khan. That footage formed part of the prosecution's case that the attack was not spontaneous, but followed a sequence of hostile encounters. Just after midday, CCTV captured Khan walking towards Harvey in the courtyard outside the canteen. The two stood face to face for a brief moment and appeared to exchange words. Without warning, Khan pulled the knife from his blazer and stabbed Harvey twice, once in the chest and once in the side. One of the wounds severed a rib and pierced Harvey's heart. Students screamed and ran for cover as staff rushed to the scene. Witnesses later described chaos with pupils running and screaming everywhere. Teachers immediately tried to give first aid and called 999. The school was placed into lockdown as police and paramedics arrived. An air ambulance landed nearby on the playing field. Harvey was taken to hospital, but despite every effort to save him, he tragically died a short time later. Police arrested Mohammed Umar Khan near the school within minutes of the stabbing. He was still in his uniform and told a teacher, "I'm not right in the head. My mum doesn't look after me right." Detectives later described the case as one of the most distressing they had ever faced. Evidence and motive. Officers searching Khan's phone found photos of him posing with knives and axes. They also found internet searches for blades including zombie killer knife. Prosecutors told the court he had an unhealthy interest in weapons. They said he knew exactly what he was doing when he attacked Harvey. Khan claimed he never meant to kill or seriously harm him. He told jurors he had snapped and lost control. He said he had been bullied, mocked online about a medical condition, and neglected at home. But prosecutors said the killing was planned, deliberate, and fueled by anger from their earlier dispute. During the trial, jurors were shown CCTV tracing Khan's movements that morning. Earlier footage showed him pushing Harvey in a corridor. Then, about an hour before the attack, in a classroom session, prosecutors said these clips proved the attack was not spontaneous, but followed a pattern of hostility leading up to lunch. Jurors also saw the courtyard footage of Khan approaching Harvey and stabbing him twice. Witnesses described panic and chaos as staff tried to save Harvey's life. On the 8th of August 2025, the jury found Khan guilty of murder by a majority of 11-1. On the 22nd of October 2025, Sheffield Crown Court sentenced him to detention for life, with a minimum term of 16 years before parole.
Stand up, please, Umar. I shall now summarise the sentence which you will receive and what it means for you. For the murder of Harvey Willgoose, I pass the only sentence which the law allows me to pass for someone of your age. That is detention during His Majesty's pleasure. You will remain in secure custody until the parole board decides that you are suitable to be considered for release. The shortest period of time during which you must remain in custody is 16 years, less the number of days which you have spent on remand. I have been told that that period is agreed to be 259 days. Therefore, the minimum term which I impose in your case is 15 years and 106 days.
Because of the seriousness of the offence, the judge lifted reporting restrictions and named him publicly as Mohammed Umar Khan. Judge Naomi Ellenbergen, KC, told him, "You chose to carry a knife into school. You used it to take a life. You destroyed a family and traumatized everyone who witnessed it." Khan will begin his sentence in a young offenders institution before transfer to an adult prison. Outside court, Harvey's parents spoke of their heartbreak. His father, Mark Willgoose, said the family had been completely broken by the loss of their son, describing Harvey as a loving, funny, cheeky boy who had everything ahead of him. He said no sentence could ever reflect the pain they would carry for the rest of their lives. At All Saints High School, pupils left flowers, football shirts and handwritten notes.
On Monday the 3rd of February 2025, in the central courtyard of the school at which you were both Year 10 pupils, you fatally stabbed Harvey Willgoose in his heart using a hunting knife which had a 13-centimetre blade with a serrated edge. Each of you was 15 years old at that time. On the 8th of August 2025, the jury convicted you of Harvey's murder, rejecting your partial defence of loss of control. Today, I must sentence you for that offence and for the offence of having a bladed article on school premises, to which you pleaded guilty at your plea and trial preparation hearing. Your senseless acts have had a devastating effect on Harvey's family. You heard his older sister, Sophie, speak movingly on behalf of them all. She told you of the unbearable pain and grief which you have caused, and of how you have shattered their world. She and her family struggle to comprehend that the teenage boy, whom she describes lovingly as having been warm, cheeky, and humorous, has died as a result of your actions. She described the constant reminders of the traumatic events of the 3rd of February, when they see teenage boys, students in uniform, or a police presence. She detailed the effect of your offending on her own mental health and on that of her family, and its consequences for their professional and personal lives. Harvey's family is haunted by the CCTV footage of the events of that day and exhausted by the trauma in their lives in which his absence is felt every day. From the evidence given at trial, it is clear that Harvey was also a popular pupil whom students and teachers held in affection. Their lives, too, have been blighted by your actions, which have affected them deeply and will continue to do so. As you have been convicted by a jury of the offence of murder, no sentence will be passed on the lesser offence of manslaughter, to which you pleaded guilty at an earlier stage. That offence will lie on the file, meaning that it cannot be reopened without the permission of this court or of the Court of Appeal. For your possession of a knife on school premises, you will receive no separate penalty. There are 2 related orders to be made. A victim surcharge will be imposed in the sum of £41 and a collection order made. That surcharge is fixed by law, takes account of your age at the time of your offence, and is used to fund organisations which support victims and witnesses. I order the forfeiture and destruction of the knife. Your legal team will come to see you before you begin your sentence. Please go with the dock officer, Umar.
Harvey Willgoose should have gone home from school that day, like every other student. Instead, his life was cut short by a knife brought into a school. His story is another reminder of the lives destroyed by youth violence, and the families left behind to pick up the pieces. This is World News Watch. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.